This is the last part of the GED practice test. We're on number 32. Okay, go ahead and read it, try it, and then turn it back on and see what the answer is. On 32, you were looking for 12 for the answer. It says, if the area of a circle is 36 pi, what is its diameter? So, area of a circle. So we're going to go to our formula sheet. So on our formula sheet, it has area at the top. It says a circle is pi r squared. So let's just write down that formula. That's the first thing you need to do. If there's ever a formula, just write it down. So pi r squared. And then plug in what they gave you. They gave us that the area is 36 pi. So put that in for A. And then they told us, oh, they didn't tell us the radius. We're going to have to find that. So that's r squared. Okay, so there's a pi on both sides. So that's just like a number, like the number 8 or 9. It's just a number. So you can divide both sides by pi and cancel it out. So that makes 36 equals r squared. And so then r is the square root of 36. Or what number times itself equals 36. And you can kind of look at the answers here to help you. It's 6. 6 squared is 36. The square root of 36 is 6. So that's what the radius is. But they asked for the diameter, which is really awful because you might have done all that work and you thought you were done, but you weren't. You have to go back and read the directions and what they wanted, and they wanted the diameter. So the radius, which again is halfway across the circle, the radius is 6. So the diameter, which goes all the way across the circle, would be 6 plus 6, 12. You could also do the square root of 36 on your calculator. Type in the number. Well, I think you have to do the square root first. It's above the x squared key right here. In green, it's square root. So second x squared, 36, enter. And it's 6. The square root of 36 is 6. Again, do second x squared, 36, enter, and you get 6. And again, they want the diameter though, so you had to double it. Our 6 plus 6, 12. Number 33, again, pause, restart. In 2011, Karen's base salary was $52,500, and she earned an end-of-the-year bonus of $62.50. In 2012, her base salary was raised to $56,300, and her end-of-the-year bonus was $4,100. What was the percent increase or decrease in her overall earnings from 2011 to 2012? Now this formula is not on the formula sheet, but what you're doing is the amount of change over the original number. So the original amount of her money here was $52,500 and a bonus of $6,200. So add those two numbers together. $52,500 plus $6,250 added up to $58,750. Oops. And then minus the next year she had $56,300 and the bonus was $4,100. So let's add those two numbers together and that'll be her whole salary for the year. So $56,300 plus $4,100. And we get $60,400. And again, that's probably the most difficult thing to remember, what number you're dividing by. You're dividing by where you start at, or what the original number was. And the original number that we started at was $58,750. So it is nice. Her pay did go up. So we got to figure out the amount of change. The amount of change, 60,000, well, I wrote it this way. It doesn't matter. If it's negative, you're going to make your answer positive. The change is just a positive number. 58,750 minus 60,400. The change is 1650. Or it went up 1650. And then divided by the original number, 58,750. So 1650 divided by the original number, which was 58,750, gives you 0.028. They wanted to know what that number was as a percent. So 0.028 as a percent, you're putting the percent sign back on, so you're moving it 2 places to the right. So it's 2.8%. And if you don't know how to do that, the calculator will do it for you. It'll change it into a percent for you. It's above the right parenthesis. It has an arrow and then a percent, so that means it's going to put the percent sign on it for us. So second parenthesis, and it does it to the answer there and changes it to 2.8%. Or you could take your answer there that you had 0.028, do second right parenthesis, and it changes it to 2.8% for you. Again, the left parenthesis takes the percent sign off, so second left parenthesis, and it changes it back to a number. All right, so 2.8%. 34, MTAS works as a server in a restaurant. On a certain night, the servers at his restaurant earn a 50-cent bonus each time a dinner special is ordered. In order to qualify for the bonus, the server must submit at least 10 dinner special orders. Complete a linear equation. Okay, linear equation. So on your formula sheet, again, under algebra, you can see an example of a linear equation down here, y equals mx plus b. They seem to like that one a lot on this test. So y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. Complete a linear equation that models the total bonus a server can expect to earn based on the number of dinner specials ordered, where b is the total bonus in dollars and d is the number of dinner specials ordered. Arrange terms from the options below to complete the equation you will use to determine how much MTAS will receive as a bonus if he sells at least 10 dinner specials. You may not need to use all the terms offered as options. Use any term only once, so we only get to use them one time. Okay, this number up here, the 50 cents, that's the slope. Every time a dinner order is ordered, that special is ordered, he gets 50 cents. So that's the rate of change. So 50 cents and then times each dinner order. So we used our 50 cents and we used our D. And then where does it start at though? Where does he start earning money at? So he has to do at least 10 dinner specials. And each dinner special was 50 cents. So if you do 10 times 50 cents, it's $5. So the number of dinner orders minus the $5. And there was only a few numbers left, and we already used the 50 cents. 50 cents each dinner order, we're making money on it, so it was a positive 50, not the negative. We're not losing money, we're going to get money. And it was 50 cents, not $50. So that one's gone too. So there was really only a few numbers left to choose from for the last box. And so for the last box, the one that makes most sense is $10 times 50 cents was $5. So he's not earning any money. He's not earning any money till after there's 10 orders. So you could check it. If you put 11 in that, 50 cents times 11 minus 5. He earns a whole 50 cents. All right. $35 says place a dot on the coordinate plane below to represent the solution of following system of equations. So I thought about this one. They're not asking you to actually have to graph the lines. I mean, you could graph the lines, but you don't have to graph the lines. And honestly, in terms of time, I think a quicker thing to do would be just to solve it. So solving it, what you can do is substitution on it, because y is x plus 4. So since y is x plus 4, y equals that, you can plug that in for the y. And that would give you then 2 times y, which is x plus 4, plus the 4x equals 44. So I substituted. I put x plus 4 in for y. 2 times y, which is x plus 4, plus 4x equals 44. So now we have an equation to solve. The first thing to do to solve an equation is you get rid of the parentheses by multiplying and distributing across. So multiply by 2. and that gives you 2x plus 8 plus 4x equals 44. So first parentheses, second combine, and we can combine on the left here. The 2 and the 4x are on the same side and they're like terms, so we should add those together. I'm going to go up here with it, above it. So adding them up, 2 plus 4 is 6x plus 8 equals 44. All right, so we combine. The next step is addition subtraction. So we want to get rid of that plus 8 and minus 8. And so then that gives us 6x equals, when you subtract 44 minus 8, I'm pretty sure it's 36. Yeah, it is. It's 36. And then the last step you want to do is divide by that 6. Boy, I'm making a mess here. So 6x equals 36. We want to isolate the x. It's times 6. So divide by 6. And you get x is equal to 6. Now we need to have the y also. So what we have to do is take the 6 and plug it back in to find y. And I'm going to plug it into the first equation again. So y equals x plus 4. So y equals x, which is 6, plus 4, and that's 10. So the point we're looking for here is 6, 10. So over to the right 6, and then you go up 10. When you plot a point again, you're going left and right, and then you're going up and down. So we went right because it was positive, and then we went right up from 10. So started from 0, go right 10, go right 6, and then go up 10. That's all they wanted was that dot right there. We didn't have to graph it, and honestly that would take a long time, and it's tricky to do to find a solution by graphing. This is definitely the quick way to do it. All right, 36. Again, try it and then turn it back on. At 36, a bag contains 12 red, 3 blue, and 6 green and 4 yellow marbles. If a marble is drawn from the bag at random, what is the probability that it'll be either blue or yellow? Blue or yellow. So we got blue here and yellow. So when you do probability, on the top you put down what the sample space is or how many ways we could win. We'll win if we get a blue or a yellow one. So 4 plus 3, there's 7 ways for us to win. And then you always divide by the total number of outcomes or the total number of items. And so we had 12, 3, 6, and 4. You want to add all 4 of those numbers together. And when you add them all together, you get 25. Well, notice they don't have that there. They changed it to a percent. So let's divide and change it to a percent. 7 divided by 25. And you get 0.28, which is 28%. Again, if you wanted to, you could go second, right parenthesis, and it changes it to that percent for you if it's going to bug you. So 28%. 37. 37. The right cone shown below has a base with a radius of 6.4. To the nearest cubic centimeter, what is the volume of the cone? So they want volume cone. Let's go to our formula sheet. Again, step 1, write down the formula. Volume of a cone. Volume's in the middle of the formula sheet. And a cone, the volume, it says it's 1/3 pi r squared h. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Again, the radius is half of the circle, and they gave us half the circle at 6.4. So 1/3 times pi times that radius of 6.4 squared, and the height, that's the height there, it's 12. And they said they used 3.14 down here for pi. So we'll use 3.14. So 1/3 times 3.14 times 6.4 squared times 12. Because all the letters were smashed together, so that meant to times them all together. All right, so let's do it. So I'm going to use my fraction key. So 1 n over d3, toggle out of it, and then times 3.14 times 6.4 squared is over here to the left of the 7 squared, and then times 12. Enter. You get 514.45. So it was D. Number 38. pause and restart it. 10 artists have entered an art show. There are 3 prizes to be awarded in the art show: first, second, and third prize. How many possible ways could these prizes be awarded among the 10 artists? The order matters on this. So first prize, we have seconds, and then we have third prize. So first prize, we have 10 choices. Somebody picked one. So then you have 9 choices left, and then 8. So you could just multiply those together to get 720. Or what you could also do, the order does matter on this, because it matters who gets first and who gets third. It's kind of like president, vice president. It's not interchangeable. Whoever wins wants to win, and they want to claim first. So this one's actually a permutation. So you could also use permutation on your calculator. We had 10 prizes, and we're choosing 3 of them with order mattering it. So it's 10 permutation 3. So if you wanted to, you could also have used your calculator for it and done 10 permutation 3. So again, you enter the 10 first, so 10, and then you go to the word probability on the second row, second key, PRB, and it's the first choice, 10 NPR, and we're picking 3, and that's 720. Again, we got permutations and combination. Permutations, when order matters, like your pen number for your ATM, are a combination, though it didn't matter at all, like the chair question they had on here. They didn't care what order the chairs were put in. All right, 39. Pause and restart. It says on 39, Archie has made a huge pot of chili. He cannot eat it all himself, so he's going to share with his neighbors and family. Archie will give 1/4 of the chili to his parents. He will give 1/8 of it to his neighbor Cecilia. He will give another 1/8 of it to his neighbor Chang. How much chili will Archie have left over? So he's got one big pot of chili. It's huge. And he's going to give away 1/4 of it, 1/8 of it, and another 1/8 of it. But he started from having one pot of chili. So one pot of chili minus 1/4, 1 n over d4, toggle out of that, minus 1 n over d8, and then minus 1 n over d8. Enter. It's a half. So they wanted to have a dot over it, so let's put a dot on it. Number 40. Again, pause, restart. Number 40 says, at the end of a baseball season, 5% of the children enrolled in a local baseball program will be chosen to play in the state tournament. If 12 children will be chosen to play in the tournament, how many children are enrolled in the program? It said 5% of the children. Of means multiply. So we're finding 5% of all the children, and when we did that, it was 12. So 5%, this is like 15% of your bill or 25% off an item. You multiply it times the item, and of means multiply. So 5% of the total amount of children was equal to 12. And we don't know what the total children are, and it's multiplied. So solving this, we're going to divide. So the total is 12 divided by 5%. Or doing it by hand, you move the decimal over 2 places, and it's 12 divided by 0.05, which will give you 240. Or we can use our calculator. So 12 divided by 5, and the percent, we're going to put the percent on it. It's second, right parenthesis, and it gives you 240. Well, let's try that again. So 12, we'll just change it first. 5, second, percent. Oh, I know, I did the wrong one. I had to put the percent on. That's a left parenthesis, darn it. So 12 divided by 5, second, left parenthesis. There we go. That puts the percent sign on it. So that's 240. All right. Or you could have just figured out the percent first and changed it to 0.05 and then divided it. All right, next one, 41. Fabio has his own computer repair business. He uses the following guidelines to estimate how long a project will take. Install an operating system, replace motherboard, re-image hard drive, upgrade memory, install new hard drive, install sound card, install video card. Fabio needs to install a new hard drive and an operating system for a customer. If Fabio charges $65 per hour, what will we charge the customer for his time? So he's going to install a hard drive and an operating system, and it's a new hard drive. So install a new hard drive. Look, they messed with you again. They have re-image a hard drive. That was not nice of them. So it's not that one. They wanted to get a new one. So they have the word hard drive there twice. Stay calm, read everything. Then we have an operating system. There's only one operating system there. It's not listed twice. So that's going to take an hour and 45 minutes, and he charges per hour. So 45 minutes, in terms of an hour, there's 60 minutes in an hour. So it's 3/4 of an hour, or 45 out of 60 minutes. So he's going to charge 1 plus 45 out of 60 in terms of time. So I don't know. In terms of time here, 1 plus 45 n over d 60. And if you have it in math print mode, it's going to give it to you like that. So he's charging for 7/4 of an hour, or if you want to go second table and it changes it to a decimal for you, 1.75. Or you could change it, the mode for it, if it's bugging you that it's doing it, change it to classic mode. Again, mode's on the top. And all right, so doing it again here, just playing with the calculator, we had 1 plus 45 divided by 60 is 1.75. So that's how much time he had, 1.75 hours. Well, each one of those hours he's going to charge $65 for. So you want to multiply that by 65. So you could have taken that fraction and also multiplied it by 65. And you're going to get C, 113.75. Number 42, there are approximately 1,335,000,000 cubic kilometers of water on the Earth's oceans. Which of the following expresses that number in scientific notation? So scientific notation, what you want to do is take the decimal. It's not listed, but it's always at the end of the number, and you move it all the way over till there's one number in front of it. So that gives you 1. And notice they did that for all of them, the number 1. But what you have to do is count how many numbers you pass by to put the decimal right here. And you jump past 3, 6, 9 numbers. So it's 1.335 times 10 to the 9th. Because you moved 9 numbers over for the decimal. Okay, 43. I'd like to know, what is the slope of the line below? So you could look at your formula sheet. It might help you. Again, take a try at it. Pause it if you haven't done it already. It says slope, M, is y minus y over x minus x. So again, the y-axis goes up and down. They call it the rise. And the x-axis goes left and right. That's called the run. So the quickest way to do this one is find 2 points on the graph that are right at the crosshairs. Like, we've got this point right there. It's definitely at 0, 1. And then we have, if you follow the line on down, that point is at 2, negative 1. So then going left to right like we read a book. Let's go down. We're going down 2. And then we're going to go right 1. We went down 2 numbers, from 1 down to negative 1, or 1, 2 spaces, and we went right a space. So our rise was down 2, and we ran 1. So that makes the slope on it negative 2. One number is 12 more than 3 times another number. The sum of the two numbers is negative 20. What are the numbers? Well, they said the sum of them is negative 20. Again, take a guess at it. All right, And so if the sum of them are negative 20, the sum means when they're added together, well, these add to positive 20 and this adds to negative 4. So that makes it either C or D. And then from there you can kind of think about which two would make the most sense. The one number is 12 more, so the one number that's bigger, it's 12 more than the smaller one and 3 times that number. So the smaller number here, like if you take the negative 2, so 3 times the number negative 2 and 12 more than that adds up to a positive 6, which is not negative 18. If you use the smaller number here, negative 8, so 3 times that negative 8 and 12 more, it gives you negative 24 plus 12, which is negative 12. So it's D. Okay, so if you want to actually do the problem using all your algebra skills, we've got one number, we'll call it the first number, and we got another number, we'll call it the second number. One number is 12 more than 3 times another number. So we're going to call the other number, or the second number, X, because it's at the end of the sentence. Whoever's at the end of the sentence gets to be X. And then the number one, the first number, is equals 12 more than, so 12 plus 3 times the other number, or 3X. So it's 12 more than 3 times it, or 12 plus 3X. And when you add those two together, the sum is equal to negative 20. So that's what your equation would be if you wanted to do the algebra of it. And again, the first step is parentheses. We have no parentheses. Second step, combine. We can combine those letters. They both are like terms. So 3x and 1x adds to 4x. So then that equals negative 20. Isolating the x, you want to get rid of anything added to it, and that's the 12. It's a positive 12, so to get rid of it, you're minusing 12 from both sides. So that makes 4x equal negative 32. Last step, divide by the 4. It gives you x is negative 8. So the one number is negative 8. And honestly, you're kind of done then, because it's the only one with a negative 8. But if you want to find the other number, you have to do 12 plus 3 times negative 8. So 12 plus 3 times negative 8 gives you that other number of negative 12. And you can use your calculator. 12 plus 3 times negative 8, negative 12. Okay, 45. Says, which of the following pairs of numbers is a solution to the equation 3x squared minus 54 equals negative 21x? Just like the last one, it's a good idea to guess at things, and you can just plug in the numbers, see which ones work. And if notice all the numbers are different, so you don't have to try both in the pair, just try one of them. If we hit it and one of them work, bam, we're done. So for example, trying the first number, the 3 times 3 squared minus 54, does that equal negative 21 times 3? So wherever the x is, you're plugging in a 3. So 3 times 3 squared is 27, minus 54 is negative 27, and then negative 21 times 3 is negative 36. Those are not equal, so it's definitely not A. If you go down and you try D, and you put in the number 2, you got 3 times 2 squared minus 54 equals negative 21 times 2. And then doing the math on it, 3 times 2 squared is 12. You got to square it first by PEMDAS. That's 4 times 3. And then minus 54. And then negative 21 times 2 is negative 42. And 12 minus 54 is negative 52. And again, you could just do this whole thing in your calculator. Don't mess with the PEMDAS. So doing the calculator here, we've got 3 times 2 squared and then minus 54. And you get negative 42. And on the other side, negative 21 times 2, it's also negative 42. If you wanted to live on the edge and do the algebra on it, I'll do it down here below. It was 3x squared minus 54 equals negative 21x. So what you need to do is move everything to one side. So I'm going to move that minus 21 to the other side, which changes the sign to plus 21. And then all of them have a 3 in it, so I'm going to divide everything by 3. Factor 3 out of all of them. So divide each number by 3. 3 divided by 3, 1. 21 divided by 3, 7. 54 divided by 3 is 18. And then you can factor it. Like I said, you can see already it's quicker just to plug in the numbers, see which ones work. You need two numbers that multiply to be negative 18, but yet add up to 7. And that would be, you can make a list of numbers that multiply to be 18. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And which one of those pairs will make a 7 if you add or subtract it? And that would be a 2 and a 9. You want a positive 2 and a positive 9 and a negative 2. So it gives you x plus 9 times x minus 2. Then you're supposed to set each of those factors equal to 0. So x plus 9 equals 0, so x is negative 9, or x minus 2 equals 0, and x equals 2. So as I said, let's just plug in the answers. All right, 46 ends on an easy note. Take a second, try it. It says match the solutions to the equations. So all we have to do is solve them. It's the first one. So try it if you haven't done it yet. Pause it and restart it. The first one is x minus 2 equals 9. All right, so I'm running out of room. I think I'm going to go down here on the bottom for it. So if you have x minus 2 equals 9, isolating the x, you want to get rid of the minus 2, so add 2. You get x is 11. The next one, it's a divided by 10 equals 5. A divided by 10 equals 5. The opposite of division is multiplication. So that means a is equal to 50. The next one has 3 times y equals negative 21. 3y equals negative 21. So isolate that y. The opposite operation from multiply is divide. And negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7. So you get negative 7. And on the last one, we'll do it right here. 14 plus m equals 6. Again, isolate the m's. We have to get rid of the plus 14. The opposite of that is minus 14. So then that m equals 6 minus 14, which is negative 8. So, and again, they would just have you slide those numbers up there. You just slip them up there. All right. So again, don't panic if you felt really uncomfortable taking it and you missed quite a few of them. If you think, you didn't miss that many of them and you want to see really where you stand in terms of whether or not you're GED ready, you can take a GED practice test on GED.com and it'll tell you whether you're ready or whether or not you need to do some more work. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm going to have more videos on there for the GED for you. So let me know too if you need any other videos made for it. Have a good day. Thank you so much.